All right, today we are in Lompoc in the wine ghetto, and we have come to Camins to Dreams to do an interview with the winemakers here at their fabulous tasting room.
Look at this, it's beautiful.
Yeah, gorgeous. Look at this.
Hi Mireia, hi Tara, how are you doing?
We're doing good.
Thanks for inviting us. We're very excited to be here.
Yes. So can you give us a little background on how you got started in the wine business and when you opened Camins to Dream?
And about the name.
Actually, yes, and the name.
Very curious about your name.
How we got started. Myself, it was when I was out to go to college, I decided to go study chemistry. And when I finished chemistry, I realized that I didn't want to be in a lab closed all my life because I'm like super active person, and so I decided to go study enology after that. But also because I love wine and my family loves wine. We have a little vineyard in Spain, that's where I'm from, in Catalonia, that my great grandparents planted back in the time. And I remember when I was a kid, food stomping the grapes. And,
Oh, great.
Like it was more like a family affair. We would make a barrel a year. So I always like wine. My parents love wine tasting to take us everywhere. So when I finished chemistry, I felt like I wanted to do something that it was more outdoors, that it was more active. And I went to study enology, and that's how I started. And I'm gonna link it with Tara because how we met is through the wine industry. When I finished my degree in enology, I came to California to do an internship, and that was at Taylor Winery, and that's where I met Tara, which she was already working there. And
So Tara, how did you get into the wine business?
So for me, it was the love of science.
Ah.
It was really at such a young age. I was only 4 years old, and I got my first microscope set. So I just loved looking at nature through a microscope, and then from there, it just grew into chemistry sets, and then eventually led me into winemaking. And my parents used to go tasting up and down the Central Coast. And we used to go on the wine tours, and so for me it was an instant connection when I saw the lab. When I was walking through on a wine tour, I saw the lab and knew that this is what I wanted to do.
Wow. So you've been in the wine business basically from the beginning.
It was 27 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
So, but Camins to Dreams. So, first of all, the name.
So Camins means path in Catalan, which is my language. So it represents the path to our dreams. So as I said, we met in the wine industry. That was back in 2006, and we were friends. We started traveling together. When I finished my internship, I went back to Spain to work there, and Tara would come every year to visit, and I would take her through all Europe, France, Germany, all Spain to visit wine regions and taste different wines. And I would come here, and she would do the same to me all over California, just to travel. So we always say that's through all these paths and routes that we took that led us to our dreams. Now having our winery together in her hometown. The path to our dreams. And
So established in 2017.
Okay. So this is year 6.
it's gonna be our sixth vintage.
Sixth vintage.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
So what does a typical day in the winery look like? Obviously, regarding seasons, I know that you said that you are slightly late for harvest this year, but how does a typical day look for you guys?
Well, one's working out of one building, the other's working out of another building. I mean, this building here is not only our tasting room, but it's our barrel storage.
Okay, so I'm going to do a quick pan around to have a look. We can walk back here.
So this is all our barrels, and we got this building in March. And
March of this year?
March of this year. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We
So
were
this is
looking for a barrel storage, and so this is how this came about, and it just happened to be a perfect location to open up a tasting room as well. So this front portion is the tasting room, and the back portion is the barrel storage.
okay.
So our day to day, a lot of time one is here and the other one is in the production, what we call the production facility, which is down the street. But either doing analysis or like now during harvest, we are crushing the grapes there and doing the pines downs, everything there. And then this morning we were just in the vineyard
Yeah, we're
sampling.
grape sampling.
So the weather has played havoc this year because, I mean, everything is late.
Yes.
Yes.
So that makes it very challenging
Like
because,
3 weeks late at least, all the varieties.
yeah, so now it'll be a question of can you get everything in?
Before Christmas, I hope so.
Yeah, and then, I mean, it's going to get colder and then, you know,
that's
normally
fine, yeah.
normally in November we start to get rain, so...
Yeah, it's gonna be challenging. Hopefully, I mean the whites. I think they're gonna come in good. It's still time. Some of the reds in Santa Rita Hills, it will be a little bit challenging. I think we're gonna pick probably at less sugar, so maybe a little bit lighter. We'll see. I mean, everything can change next week. Could be like 100 degrees. So you never know.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was the appeal for a wine? I mean, you've talked about how you got into wine, but why
Why
wine?
this area, or why
Why
wine
wine?
in general?
Why wine in general? But yes, I mean, the two of you, obviously coming from different parts of the world, had a choice in terms of where you were going to open a winery. You made a choice to open a winery together. And so, yeah, the appeal of wine, and then why did you choose here?
I mean, to me, the appeal of wine, it's always because in Spain we have this food and wine scene that it's always like you're always eating and drinking
Yes.
together, and
In France, it's the same
and-
thing.
Yeah. so to me, it's this appeal of community, of sharing, of making something that you can share with your friends and your family, and you can enjoy it together. And it's every year different, and so it's really interesting. On you learn how to adapt and to make it's like a little bit artistic, but it's also has a lot of science, which I love. So yeah, to me, it's that combination of science and art together, and food, and which I love also. And
It's interesting that you both have this scientific, you have
Yes.
this scientific approach to wine. I mean, you obviously from such a young age to.
Yeah, science, I mean, it plays a huge part in the whole winemaking process. A lot of people just see the romance and the glory of it. There's so much more kind of like in back of all of that, and number one being chemistry.
Right.
But why we chose this region, I mean, we're both really big fans of Northern Rhone, and
Okay.
So cool climate Shiraz and Santa Rita Hills is the perfect area, perfect region for growing cool climate Shiraz. And then also too, Gruner Veltliner is our second love of varieties.
Yeah.
And so, yes, Santa Rita Hills. I mean, Santa Rita Hills is predominantly known for Pinot and Chardonnay, but we don't make those two varieties. We really wanted to focus on some of the obscure and the underrepresented varieties.
So how many wines do you make?
I think
We-
we make 12 now.
Oh, okay.
We have one blend, and everything else it's 100% variety.
Mm-hmm.
But we do like 3 different Shiraz, 3 different Gruners,
All vineyard
all vineyard
designated.
designated.
Yes.
And then we get also a little bit of fruit from the valley, so a little bit of Syrah, a little bit of Carignan, a little bit of Albarino,
Gamay.
Gamay, and Grenache. So yeah,
But Grenache is also from here, Santa Rita Hills.
and we do a Pecnat, so sparkling.
So you make a sparkling.
Gruner.
Ah, okay.
Wow, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, it is. It's
Oh,
super
I'll try
crisp
some.
and fresh. And
Yeah.
We'll have to try some.
And perfect for a
And
hot
we do-
summer's day or
Yeah.
late
And
summer's day.
that's another thing too, because of the chemistry. I mean, like we do everything in house. So the sparkling, the pet nat, we hand riddle it back here. We do it all ourselves.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah.
So
amazing.
hand disgorge it, and
And so are you, I mean, these are oak barrels,
Yes.
but do you do some in stainless or,
yeah, we do have stainless steel barrels that we ferment some of the whites in. So it's a mixture of neutral French oak and stainless steel barrels.
Or in the
Tanks.
tanks too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the French, the barrels are all like neutral, so it's not that they
Yeah, it's
have
not-
like a
it's
big
not imparting a-
influence of
okay.
Right.
oak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are the challenges of working in the wine business?
Well, of course, it's a male-dominated industry for one. Not only a male-dominated industry, but a male white-dominated industry. And so, yeah, I mean, there's numerous challenges. that go along with that. I mean, I know I struggled when I first started. You know, my father taught me at an early age to really believe in myself, and I was getting questioned left and right for all the decisions that I was making. And I know if I was male counterpart, they probably wouldn't have gotten questioned as much as I did. So it kind of made me at times feel unsure about myself, but then, you know, I just think about what my father kept telling me and kept reminding me, that just to believe in yourself, and that kind of helped a lot.
Have you found that too? Have you found that that's been a challenge, or?
I mean, it's always a challenge when you go showcase your wine somewhere and they see that you are a woman, and a lot of them is like, oh, are you the sales rep or you're the winemaker? Like, you know,
Right.
It's like, it's a lot of like, everybody puts like first like, oh, you're gonna be the sales rep, you're not the winemaker or the
Right,
owner.
right, right,
or like,
Or where's
so
your
I feel
husband
like,
at?
yeah. I had some people at the beginning coming to the tasting room the first years when we were like doing tastings by appointment, and yeah, they would ask that. Oh no, there's no male in this winery. Sorry, it's two ladies.
Woman owned. I love that.
Yeah.
So
But-
Tara, and so you are the, you are the first Indigenous woman in the industry, which is quite a feat. And obviously, how does it feel to be the first? I mean, is there a lot of pressure? And obviously, how does that look for you for the next generation of Indigenous women winemakers?
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of have mixed feelings about that, because, yeah, I mean, of course, there is a lot of pressure to it, but then also to be recognized as the first from the state legislature of California, which was the first to recognize me, it means a lot. And for me to represent my Chumash tribe, you know, it feels really good inside. But along with that, yeah, there's also struggles with that, and also too, people always, you know, sometimes I do get a little embarrassed when it's like you're the first, and I mean, I get that actually a lot, and yeah, I mean, like, I want to be also too recognized for the work that I do, for the winemaking that I do, not just for the color of my skin or the nationality.
Right.
Or my background, my race. And so, yes, you know, I was really honored just last month to be recognized as one of the honorees of the Future 40 out of Wine Enthusiasts.
That's
So-
incredible.
Fantastic.
that was-
Congratulations.
that was,
Bravo.
That was a big,
Yeah.
you know, accomplishment for me, for all the hard work that I've put in all these years, and to finally get that recognition.
Well, congratulations. That is a
Thank you.
fantastic honour, and obviously
Yeah.
we look forward to the day where you're just winemakers.
Have you been able to mentor people to?
Oh yes, mentoring. Like, so that's huge for me, because, you know, I didn't have that opportunity when I first started out in the wine industry. I mean, I had it really, really hard. I mean, only one of two women that graduated out of Fresno State. And so that, you know, kind of showed a lot. And then just going to school and studying in the study groups, like, that was tough for me as well. So I didn't, when I was going to college, I didn't have that opportunity to have anybody to help me out when I first started. So I felt it was super important to turn that around and to be able to mentor other people, other students who wanted to get into the industry but were just as scared. And so I mentored out of the James Beard Foundation, the Legacy Network Program, the Roots Fund, and then many other colleagues who come and, you know, they know that they could come to me. We have an open door, and so they could come to us and ask questions in relation to the chemistry, because we know about
only to the
science,
chemistry,
but a little bit of everything.
No, but we always say that if there's anybody that wants to get into the wine industry and doesn't know where to start or how to do anything, and if we can help, yeah, our doors are open. Like, come and ask, and if we can help, we're happy to help. So,
I love that. There's no gatekeeping here.
That's great. Well, it's a challenging industry, but in the last few years it has been particularly challenging. COVID, and we ask this of everyone, how everybody pivoted and how we
How
had
did it impact your business?
yeah.
We didn't. I mean, I wouldn't. It obviously impacted our business like anybody else's, but we don't really know how much it impacted because we just opened 6 months before COVID.
Oh,
So
okay.
not
So
only-
You opened the tasting rooms.
Well, the tasting room we released our wines like in
8 months. It was 8
in
months.
July of 2019. That was our release, and then in March was everything closed. So like we didn't have that, like that follow up yet. We didn't have much. So it was like a little hard when you just release wines and open your business, the doors, and then everything shuts down. But we really pivoted to doing a lot of virtual tastings. And
we had to kind of
Change
revisit the whole business plan
yeah.
and go back to
Virtual
it.
tasting. So you
Yeah.
would send people.
we still do it. We send kits. We send like tasting kits with 5 different wines, tasting notes, and a link. And it's all private, virtual to Zoom. It's like if you would come to the tasting room and taste with us. But
Zoom was our best friend.
in your house, and we did it like during COVID with a lot of like big corporations
Uh-huh.
that would do it for their employees
Like
and
team building
retreats,
kind of
thing. Yeah.
team building. Now
I did that.
we
Yeah.
do it a lot during the holidays for families
Families.
still that they don't get together and they just want to do something online together.
Wow,
Oh,
very-
that's great.
Very innovative,
And
isn't
it's
it?
always
Yeah.
us doing it. So a lot of the bigger companies would do it, but it's just like a tasting room staff, which they are really knowledgeable and everything, but it's not the same that having the owners and the
The owners and
winemakers.
the
Right.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
To ask all the questions. So.
Yeah.
And it's fun for us too. We get to
We get to
meet-
go home and
and yeah,
and do it in the comfort of our own homes as well.
yeah.
And-
But we also get to meet people from all over United States, and a lot of them join the wine club after. And if we wouldn't have that, like we wouldn't never meet them, or they wouldn't know our wines, or so. I think it opens some doors. As they close some doors, it opens
Right.
some doors. So.
Okay. So now we come to the fun parts.
Ah.
Aha.
Well, actually, there's one more serious.
Oh, there's one more
fairly
serious.
One more fairly serious.
Oh, yes.
question.
Okay.
But
Okay.
It's light-hearted. So, what is the one thing that you don't like or really don't like doing that you have now come to love in regards to business?
Wow.
This is a great response to this question.
I'd say it. I mean, like for me, selling wine is always the most challenging part. You have to have that special hat on to be able to sell it. But when we're here in the tasting room, like it's
You're gonna say that you have
easy-
become to
a little
love
bit-
it.
a little bit easier because this is like our home and we're inviting people into our home, so it's completely different.
It's really nice when people comes to you, not when you have to go to some.
Yeah.
That's different.
Right.
But yeah,
Oh.
we love hosting people here. That's for sure.
we love
Well,
hosting
it's-
people in general.
Yeah, in general, but here
It's
that's part-
challenging because you're going out and you are giving part of yourselves.
Yeah.
Vulnerable.
And
yeah.
yeah.
I think it's one of the most challenging things as a
hardest.
winemaker. It's selling wine because we love making it and it's really fun and
So
it's
easy
hard,
to
but
make
to go and
Sell
sell
it.
it, that's challenging. That's hard.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. All right. So this what food or drink do you love but won't admit to loving it? Is there some
What food or drink?
Well,
Yes.
I'm not gonna tell you if I'm not.
No, this is the whole point. So is there something that you love that's a sort of
Guilty pleasure.
A
Like somebody said the other day how they really like Hershey's chocolate, and they work in the food industry. And like, for example, I like a pastry chef, but I love like a dairy milk English chocolate bar, which we all know is not really chocolate, but that's like my guilty. I have a couple of others which I won't share for other episodes. But I have a list of things that I won't admit readily to the public. As a chef, I want to,
That's kind of a tough one.
so nothing comes to mind straight
Nothing
away. You
comes to
think,
mind, it's
oh, I like a
nothing
a
comes to
sugar
mind
donut
straight
or a
Yeah.
I like popcorn.
Oh,
Yeah.
she loves popcorn.
I guess in the
With a lot of butter on it.
okay, there you go. Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
That's okay.
what would you like to see as a drink or food or drink trend?
What would we like to see?
Or would you not like to see
Yes.
as a food or drink trend? I know there's lots of...
That's been actually that's
What I wouldn't like to see? I don't know what this trend is right now.
Oh my goodness, I know where you're going.
Because we see it on social media so much, but everybody pulls out their favorite sparkling wine, champagne, or whatever it is, and they bless the grapes with it. And I guess I just don't understand that. I mean,
Wait.
Just drink it, don't throw it on the grapes.
I would toast with someone, like, yeah, toast, but to throw it on the grapes, I don't know. It's just a trend that I guess I just don't understand. Maybe I'm too old for that. I have no idea. Ask the millennial.
I always say, like, just drink it, please drink it.
there are weird things
Yeah.
when you delve into the whole.
rabbit hole of social media.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
There are definitely some.
You see that a
Definitely.
lot, though.
Some
So
odd
this
things.
is so what is always in your fridge at home? Number one, and what are the top 3 ingredients in your fridge, and what would you make with them?
That's a Mireia question.
There's always vegetables, that's for sure, in our fridge at home.
Okay.
Definitely tomatoes. I'm sure there's always tomatoes at home because I love tomatoes.
Bread.
Yeah, that's not in the fridge, but yeah, there's always bread at home. Definitely.
She's asking the next question.
that's and I don't know. It's probably always chicken at
Cheese,
home.
cheese.
A lot of cheese.
Cheese, charcuterie.
Cheese charcuterie. Yeah.
We sometimes have that in the morning for breakfast.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so what would you make with the top 3 ingredients?
You've got
That's
cheese,
easy,
bread,
right?
and tomatoes.
Cheese, bread, and tomato. Hand
on tomato.
Just dip your tomato with the bread and
a little bit of olive oil,
yeah, it's perfect.
cheese, and charcuterie.
All right. So if you were stuck on a desert island, potatoes or bread?
Potatoes or bread?
Yeah. You can have one or the other.
I mean, I love bread, and I would say
No
bread
potatoes.
any time. But I think potatoes are. If I only can choose one thing, you can do more different things with potatoes.
I'm on potato.
She's team potato.
She's team bread.
I'm.
We need to do a poll at the end of
Yes,
this.
we'll do
I
a need
think
to
I
do
love more
it.
bread than potatoes in general, but I
I
can
eat
do
more
more.
potatoes. I eat a lot
Yeah,
of potatoes.
but I can do more different things with potatoes than with bread. I think.
I love that for us, all of our potato lovers.
Yes.
And this is your final question. If you had a fairy food or drink mother, what would be your wish for your business?
I guess like keep growing and keep doing what we love to do and being able to share it with people and being able to live from it, because that's I mean all we want is to be able to live from what we love to do. So
For me, is to bless us with a wonderful harvest. I mean, it's all the blood, sweat, and tears. You wait all year long for this one moment to pick the fruit, and you want the fruit to be the best that it could be.
Yes.
And we always say that the wine is made out in the vineyard, and we spend a lot of time out in the vineyard. So yeah, just a beautiful crop and something that we could share with everyone here at the table.
Well, we will drink to that.
We'll drink to that.
Yes.
Cheers.
Salud.
Cheers.
Salud.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you. Thank you for your time and your generosity.
Yeah.
Thank